This just in, a CNN, some tough language from Senator John McCain of Arizona. Remember, earlier in the program, we played for you a remark by the Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid saying he doesn't understand how anyone of Latino heritage could be a Republican. Senator McCain takes issue.
I was astounded at the comment made by Senator Harry Reid that no person who is Hispanic could call themselves a Republican. This is both an unacceptable remark and an oblivious remark. The Republican who's running for governor in his own state, Mr. Sandoval, is of Hispanic heritage. It was a statement that was made only to inflame passions, and it's unacceptable, and Harry Reid should publicly apologize as quickly as possible. We don't need any more of that kind of rhetoric from Harry Reid in America.
Let's talk this over. Still with us, Democrat Don Baer, Republican Ron Bonjean. Senator McCain mixing it up. I mean, he's in a primary campaign, but to go right at Harry Reid on this point, what's the issue?
It was a strong move. I mean, Senator McCain's in a primary. This helps him back in his home state, but he's absolutely right. It was a blanket statement made by Senator Reid to try to inflame the base there and try to get Hispanic voters on his side in Nevada. And I don't think it's playing very well. And it's helped other Republican candidates like Marco Rubio in Florida come out and give him a chance to talk about it as well.
Senator Reid's point was they won't help us on comprehensive immigration reform. Some of them are talking now about the 14th Amendment and denying, citizenship rights to the children of illegal immigrants. Where's this stuff go?
And the answer is there's inflaming going on all sides of this now. And it's bad. It's wrong. And all the politicians ought to lay off. The Republicans with this 14th Amendment thing, it's crazy. And I can't imagine what they ultimately think good will come out of that.
All right, I'm sorry, quick timeout. Let's move on to the play-by-play.
Here comes the play-by-play.
All right, we mentioned Haley Barbour giving a fundraiser or being the headliner at a fundraiser in Florida coming up. Well, we have live action pictures today of a 2012 contender for presidency, Republican side, doing what you all have to do. Look at this right here. This is what we call the Iowa State Fair. And at the Iowa State Fair, there's a lot of pork. Let's watch Governor Tim Pawlenty of Minnesota. It's the other white meat. There it is. He's got the full apron and everything. I'm shocked, guys, as I'm sure you are, that as he's out at the Iowa State Fair, there are cameras.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Instead of the rubber chicken circuit, it's the rubber pork chop circuit, it looks like to me. But, the campaign gets early and earlier, and even though they haven't announced it's clear they're running, and they have to do things like this to connect with voters soon.
Ever been to the Iowa State Fair?
Sure.
You can get anything you want on a stick, anything you want fried, whether it's a Reese's cup, whether it's a pork chop, whether you can get bacon-wrapped pork chops. You can.
It's a sure sign why you have to get in shape now, because this stuff is starting sooner and sooner.
Yes, Republican campaign for president, cardiologist included. All right, let's move on. I want to move on. We just talked about Harry Reid. His opponent is Sharon Angle. She's been quite controversial, a Tea Party favorite. She shocked the establishment in winning the Republican nomination. She has a tough new ad up against Senator Reid. Let's play the ad, then we'll talk about it.
I'd like to save Social Security by locking the lockbox, putting the money back into the trust fund so the government can no longer raid our retirement.
Lockbox. Haven't heard that since Al Gore. The lockbox. Now, what makes this interesting, this is Sharon Angle saying we need to protect and preserve Social Security and keep Harry Reid and those other politicians from dipping into the trust fund. This is the same Sharon Angle who told John Ralston, a great political journalist out in Nevada during the campaign season, quote, we need to phase Medicare and Social Security out in favor of something privatized. I think you call that trying to fill in the ditch.
Well, I thought it was a smart idea for her to go on the offense and try to redefine the issue. Senator Reid has said repeatedly, there's nothing wrong with the Social Security Trust Fund, but we all know that it's going to start paying more than it's taking in 2015. So, to get on the issue and get on offense, I thought it was a smart move.
Harry Reid would be smart to start taking this on as a serious issue and presenting himself as a serious policymaker, which he is here back in Washington, because she's playing politics, and he could actually stand up as somebody of stature who has something to say on this issue.
He'd have to get his party to be willing to deal with a big issue in this election year context, which I'm not sure Harry Reid can pull that one off. All right, let's move on to the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. We just showed you Tim Pawlenty. He was at least trying to cook at the Iowa State Fair. Not there, not sure how it came out. Nancy Pelosi, Top Chef.
Coming from San Francisco, where Top Chef began, this reminds me of home with all the natural products and the rest, and al dente angel hair is almost impossible to achieve. That in itself is a feat. It's delicious.
Well, let me just ask you guys, why is she doing this? She's an issue in a lot of campaigns. That, I think, is pretty smart.
The president goes on The View, right? Nancy Pelosi is here on Bravo Channel. I mean, this is good. This humanizes her, and it reminds people of things that they like about Nancy Pelosi.
They're trying to connect with voters that are maybe disenfranchised, especially female voters. That's why the president did The View, and that's why Speaker Pelosi's doing a show like this. You know, Republicans are doing too. Aaron Schock was on the other day, so I thought it was good bipartisanship, you know, to bring, you know, there's good food in D.C.
I love to cook, Top Chef. If you happen to be watching, I'll come on anytime. I'm no Nancy Pelosi, but I can cook. I can cook. All right, let's move on. Dancing. You guys dance?
Sure.
All right, first a little Charlie Rangel. A lot of Democrats are not happy with this. He's under ethics investigation, and here's Charlie Rangel last night at his birthday party in the middle of an ethics investigation. I am not qualified to judge dancing, so I don't know what to say about that. Now, before you guys weigh in on Charlie Rangel's dancing and whether he should be out in public, I just want to remind our viewers, there's probably too often dancing in politics.
Put it in one, please.
You see it there. Is there no sound to that?
I was going to say.
All right, so I can't dance, so I'm not qualified here.
Well, we're not going to dance here tonight, John, but it was amazing you showed the Seinfeld clip, because that's what I was going to say. Every bit of this reminds me of Elaine dancing on Seinfeld.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, you know...
Speechless on the issue of dancing.
Taking it back, Charlie Rangel, you know, he's dancing while he's in trouble. He's going to dance himself right out of Congress. President Obama, President Bush, they were dancing. They're having a good time. I just think, you know, the more he gets out there, the worse it gets for him, and he should be dancing in the dark. How about that?
Good work. Good footwork for a guy in his 80s.
That's true.
There you go.
That's
there
true.
you go. There's always something kind to be said. Don
Right.
there found it.
Right.
Don, Ron, thanks for coming. When we come back, Pete's on the street, and for me, it's question time.
How can rice production in India affect wheat output in the U.S., the shipping industry in Norway, and the rubber industry in South America? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason 75% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Once upon a time, a bunch of guys got together with a crazy idea. Go farther, faster than mankind ever had before. They dreamt with their hands, and the world watched and waited with bated breath. While time has marched on and priorities have changed, it's nice to know America still builds rockets. The 2011